behind LeBron and Kobe in his 9th All-Star game and a 2-time All-Star MVP. And now Steve Nash coming on for Kobe Bryant.
It'll be interesting to see if Kobe plays anymore tonight. I know the Lakers really want him to take this time off and rest that hand. You know, every time he gets that hand hit, it's going to become so sore. He does not want to have the surgery during the season, but I know they did not want him playing out here today.
Kobe with the torn ligament on his right pinky finger. Here's Howard. And he will head to the line.
You know, I think every time Dwight Howard goes up, his head, it almost looks like his head is about ready to hit the rim. He's so explosive. He's so strong. All he needs is a little space. You see the pick and roll right here with LeBron James. And look how his head, and you got Tim Duncan weighing him down, who's at 250 himself, trying to weigh down Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard, the first overall pick in the draft back in 2004, having terrific season, 22 points, 14 rebounds, leads the NBA in rebounding. And guys, there was a point last week when Dwight's coach, Stan Van Gundy, felt that he was not focusing enough in terms of rebounding and defense. He was focusing too much on offense, and then Dwight got the message. Bounced back with 23 points, 24 rebounds, and a win over Denver this past Wednesday.
Well, I think he took the heat what his coach is saying. He needs to set the tone in that paint for the Orlando Magic. They have Turkoglu and Rashard Lewis out on that perimeter. They need him down in that paint.
Kidd trying to look away that was deflected, recovered by Howard, trying to get it inside. Here's Kidd with the lob. Kidd fighting LeBron James. And that is, let's see, David Jones says, no, last touch by the East.
Well, you know, Kenny was talking about in the rookie game, he had a dunk meter. He wanted to get to 53. I don't think we'll get nowhere near that. I can see in the rookie game where you get a lot of dunks because those guys really don't understand how to play yet. But these guys, he's a high flyer knack.
Eastern Conference with all 5 of its field goals on slam dunks. Here comes Kidd. He's looking to lead Dwayne Wade and misfired.
I love Jason Kidd and Steve Nash, though, because neither one of those guys have ever let a turnover affect them. I mean, they can get 6, 7, 8 turnovers in a game, and they'll make the next play in traffic trying to find a guy for an easy score.
Well, they also never seen a turnover they didn't like as well.
And James with the outlet. And the lay-in for Dwayne Wade.
How about Dwayne Wade? I mean, there's a champion 2 years ago in Miami who comes in here with the Miami Heat. They've lost 24 of their last 25 games. That's sort of incomprehensible that could happen.
Well, it's tough because he's playing in the Western or in the Eastern Conference where there's a lot of teams that you just think on a given night, if you show up, you can get a win. That's how struggled they are right now.
East with a 14-7 lead. Bosch spinning his way, rebounded by Duncan. Anthony with the back and move gets it out to Duncan for 3. Whoa.
Well, he was in the shooting challenge with the team San Antonio that won. Where was that shooting today? He was knocking down the 3. Along with Becky Hammond and David Robinson winning the shooting challenge.
Bosch extending to the 16-7 lead. And again a release to a man ahead of the field. This time it is Bosch. Well, it starts out in schoolyard style, as we have discussed throughout the week. And then second half, particularly fourth quarter, the game changes.
It's like a boxing match in the early rounds. Right now, you're just trying to feel your opponent. A few jabs here and there. No one's looking for the overhand right early marvelous.
And as you say that, Reggie, we see the jab step move by Carmelo Anthony.
Well, that's the problem also, too, when you're like that. You want to have a little bit of tempo or rhythm. You don't want the game to be sloppy so early.
Yeah, that's one of the things you always talk about as a coach is let's not let the game get sloppy and have a lot of turnovers.
Let's check in with Craig Sager. Craig.
Well, Marv, a sigh of relief from L.A. Athletic trainer Gary Vitti of the Lakers had called the staff here and said, listen, do not listen to Kobe Bryant. Take the 2 fingers together. Get him out of the game as soon as you can. Right now, he has it wrapped, has ice. He is definitely through for the evening. In an all-star game, the medical staff is shared by the East and the West. Here there are 4 representatives, 4 different teams. All 4 of those people said that Kobe Bryant should not be playing in this game, and if he was their player, he would not be. So it's very swollen, the injury perhaps more serious than Kobe wants us to believe.
So Kobe goes about 3 minutes and departs. Here is James for 3.
Well, you always want to err on the side of caution, but I'm just surprised Gary Vitti was able to get through on his cell phone. What about Mitch Kupchak? What about owner Jerry Buss? They don't have no cell phones here? The trainer's going to call?
With the voice of authority. Here is Anthony with the bucket. It counts. And the foul. Well, just under 6 remaining in this first quarter. And the East with an 18-9 lead.
The 2008 NBA All-Star Game, live from New Orleans, Louisiana, is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA. By Heineken, it's all about the beer. Heineken. By DirecTV. If you consider yourself a sports fan, you've got to get DirecTV. And by Gatorade. Every game needs a hero. Is it in you?
February's Black Love. Curtis, please don't ruin Black History Month. It's only 28 days.
Nominated for 3 NAACP Image Awards. Tyler Perry's House of Pain, Wednesday at 9 on TBS.
Welcome back to the All-Star Game. Let's catch you up to date on that proposed Jason Kidd trade. The 2 teams are discussing this trade tonight. It may not happen tonight, but there's a very good chance it could happen in the next 48 hours. Both sides feel like they're inching closer to getting this done, but it is not a done deal yet. The important thing now in this trade is that Jerry Stackhouse, who was in the earlier version of this trade, is not in this version of this trade. Right now, the main proponents are Devin Harris, Desana Diop, and 2 first-round picks. The issue, as you all may know, is whether Keith Van Horn, who has not played in the last year and a half, can come out of retirement, wants to come out of retirement, and play for the New Jersey Nets. He'll be offered a prorated amount of the $4 million that the team has offered him, and he has to decide whether he wants to play. He has a lot of businesses that he has now, and he's very comfortable where he is. But he does have great feelings for both the Mavericks and the Nets. He's played for both of those teams, and so he's got to decide whether he wants to do it or not. Let's go over to Craig Sager with Dirk Nowitzki.
Well, Dirk, now we're into Plan B for this proposed trade. We talked to you last week how excited you were to possibly play with Jason Kidd. Then you found out you weren't. Now it may be on again. What does this mean to you and the Dallas Mavericks if it is on?
Well, you know, I think I want to make sure that it's really on before coming on. I think this has been the weirdest week for everybody involved, so I want to hear it with my own ears that the deal went through, and then I'm more than happy to comment on it.
Have you talked to Jason Kidd this weekend, and if so, what was that conversation like?
Not more than ever. You know, I think you don't really see each other that much there. He's on the East team right now, but you know, just mingling and being friends, I guess.
Well, thanks for talking to us. You can report in now.
All right, thanks.
All right, Craig. Dirk does not want to be hit with a fine for tampering, so he's keeping his distance from Jason.
Also, too, Marv, I mean, so much things have been said already by both teams. You know, Dallas talking about how much they love to have Jason Kidd on the team, and the deal is not even done yet. So here's Paul Pierce loading up a 3, but I don't see how they cannot do this deal with all that's been said. I mean, how can these guys go back to their respective teams?
It's an 18-14 East lead, and